4.3.2. I can write and solve proportions. I can write and solve.
Excellent. So writing and solving proportions is the title, and we can write and solve them now, right?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Look at my table here. Cell phone stuff. Last month I bought 2 ringtones and it cost me
$6.
This month I bought 3 ringtones and it cost me
$9.
We don't know how much it cost me, do we? So we wrote a proportion. 2 ringtones cost $6. It's exactly how it looks in the table. 3 ringtones cost X dollars. Can you easily get from 2 to 3, you guys? No. So if you can't get from one number to the next, they're unfriendly numbers, what do? You simplify. So can we simplify 2 and 6? Yes, to 1 and 3. Now can we get from 1 to 3 a lot easier? What do we multiply by? What do we multiply the bottom by? What's your answer? Isn't that sweet how that works, right?
Yes.
Most of you knew the answer before we even did it, but you have to know how to solve because you're going to get down to problems like Siraji's here. Siraji got 48 out of 51 on a test. We want to know what its percentage is. How many numbers do you need to solve a proportion? 3. I gave you, he scored a 48, and there were 51 possible. Did I give you 3 numbers? No. Is there a hidden number up there?
Yes.
What's the hidden number, everybody?
100%.
100%, because you know that every test is worth 100%, right?
Yes.
So what we did is we wrote our proportion. Siraji got 48 out of 51. And we know that if you would have gotten 51, that would be what percent?
100%.
So the only thing we don't know is his percent, right? So can you easily get from 51 to 100? No. So what do? So what's the first thing you try to do?
Simplify.
And we decided we could not reduce 48, 51, even though you technically can, but we did not know how. So then we just decided to go from 51 to 100. Since we can't simplify, we have to use our estimation strategy of the number,
One.
And to go from 51 to 100 means we have to multiply by a number that is.
Greater than 1.
So we take out our calculator and we do 51 divided by 100 because we're just using those bottom 2 numbers. Is that number bigger than 1?
No.
No, so we know we reverse it, right? So now we're going to do 100 divided by 51 and we get 1 and 96, blah, 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 blah. So we round to the nearest.
100.
And we are going to multiply then by 1 and 96 hundredths because that's rounded. We multiply this by 1 and 96 hundredths, right?
Yes.
And then we got approximately 94%, right?
Yes.
Rounded to the nearest percent. It was 94 point something, 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 something. How about this one? Why did you guys decide to line up your calories and your servings with your calories and your servings? Why would we do that? What do we say we need to do when writing proportions? Can you say it louder, please?
Line up the label.
We need to line up the labels. Okay? And then we follow our process. Friendly numbers? No. Can you reduce? No. Then you use your 1 estimation. Everyone say 1 estimation.
1 estimation.
Good, 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 good. And then the last one that Mrs. Euglin did with you. Again, we lined up our labels on this particular problem. 80 points on a test. If you get them all, you get what percentage?
100%.
If you don't get them all, you get 80%, right? What number would this be is what we have to calculate, right? In order to get 80%. And then we did our math, which Mrs. Euglin did right over here. She reduced because she was able to reduce because we had unfriendly numbers. Yes, no?
Yes.
Same thing as we have been doing?
Yep.
Only difference is you have to write your proportion by lining.
Up the label.
Say it again.
Line